Metal Gear Survive is probably the least anticipated Metal Gear title of all time, and there is good reason for that. To start, it has nothing to do with Hideo Kojima, who was unceremoniously booted out the door of his former employer, but did go on to pursue his dream of putting babies inside Norman Reedus, so he's doing well. And the second reason is that it says Konami on the box, and I think Konami is right up there with EA on most people's shit lists. They spent like a solid year just farting in the faces of all their fans, abandoning all of these beloved franchises that they own, raising two middle fingers up, and just kind of walking out of the industry outside of Pez sequels and pachinko machines. And most of us assumed that that was the end of it. All of their beloved IPs, Metal Gear, Castlevania, all that stuff would just be relegated to pachinko or nothing, and we kind of accepted that. It was sad, but that's how it is. And then they announced Metal Gear Survive, which takes Metal Gear and puts zombies in it and survival things like a thirst meter and a hunger meter. And I think the reaction to that was not positive. Most people I know either had complete indifference, didn't care, or were like mad. I was kind of on the indifferent side, so I wasn't looking forward to it at all. Despite the fact that I love Metal Gear, it's not going to be the same. But they did have a free beta over the weekend, and hey, we may as well give it a shot, right? It's free, it cost me nothing, so I decided to download it and play it on my Xbox One, and I came away from it feeling exactly the same as when I started. It functions fine, but it's very forgettable as a game, at least based on the content that they provided, which wasn't much. I spent a total of about 6 to 7 hours playing the beta, which for me is very impressive because there's about 30 minutes worth of content on offer. You get one mission that you can play through on 2 different difficulties, and then one other mission after that, and that's it. And all it is wave-based survival against hordes of zombies. You can do it alone or in co-op. Alone, it's actually pretty unmanageable. There's too many of them, and they come from too many different angles that I had a lot of trouble. So it seems to be the focus of this mode is entirely the co-op part. And at its core, it works because it's just Metal Gear Solid 5 again, although it's shifted to a more action-oriented direction. So instead of sneaking around, I mean, you can still sneak up on zombies and do a stealth kill, but that's a rare occurrence. For the most part, you're just stabbing zombies with melee weapons or shooting them or setting up defenses like turrets, putting up barricades, and that's what it is. You have probably seen this game 1,000 times under a bunch of different names, and that's what it is. That's what you get. It's totally fine, you're playing it and you don't hate it. It's not like it's broken or terrible. It's just nothing special. It's entirely adequate, and that's it. There's a big focus on melee combat, but it's not good. The melee combat's not good. You equip a weapon and you aim it like you would a gun, and then you swing it or you stab it. I found the spear to be the most useful because, one, it can stab through barricades like fences, like Rick Grimes taught us. It's a very effective way of dealing with the hordes. They all come to this chain link fence and you just stab them through it. But also it gives you a little bit of distance between you and the zombies. And I mean a little bit. You still have to get pretty close. Because when I tried to hit people with machetes and a hammer and a sledgehammer, and it doesn't really work well because they're slow to swing, and the enemy and the zombies, they're swinging at you too. And if they hit you, they can do status effects pretty easily, like bleeding, which is very annoying because it makes this blood effect keep coming down the screen. And you can cure it, but it's not entirely obvious how to cure it. At least it wasn't for me. I had to kind of stumble upon that solution, so I kind of ran around for 5 minutes constantly bleeding. But yeah, you'll spend most of the time hitting zombies because while you can shoot, your ammo is very limited because you have to craft it. There is a lot of crafting in the game. You're constantly picking up resources. You're given time between waves of zombies to run around and find resources, and you're rewarded resources when you succeed. And you just get a crap ton of stuff, and you use it to make everything from weapons to ammo to equipment to the barricades and traps and all of this stuff. Though the amount of stuff you could craft in the beta was very limited. They basically start you out with pretty much everything you can build. I think I had 4 guns, maybe 3, a couple of melee weapons, and I only ever found 2 different pieces of gear, like armor, in that time, and that was it. So either the drop rates were very low in the beta, or there's just nothing in the beta. This also means that you spend a lot of time in menus, just holding down a button, waiting for things to finish crafting. Menus within menus, there's sub-menus, there's different menus for food and gear and ammo, and it's just so convoluted that it took me quite a while to figure out where things were and how to... I didn't even know you could upgrade your equipment. You can level up your equipment and make it better, but I just accidentally stumbled upon that by hitting the right button in one of the many menus. It's just kind of a mess. You can get used to it, but it's not clean. You can level up your character by playing. You earn this currency called Cuban, and you use that to spend on leveling up, kind of like Souls in the Dark Souls games. And those give you skill points, which then you can put into this skill tree. And the skill tree just isn't... There's nothing to it. Either there's going to be multiple skill trees, I hope, or the skill tree is going to be much bigger, because the skills on offer are mostly useless. At least they seem to be that way. Aside from raising your base stats like strength and stamina, and the ability to pick up stuff faster, which is always useful in resource gathering games. And that's really all there is to the beta. For the most part, it all works. If you've ever played a survival crafting game in your life, then you've played Survive. It's just the zombies have crystal horns now, and that's different, I guess, but that's pretty much the only unique thing you're getting. But I didn't feel like anything while playing it. I wasn't having a miserable time, but I also wasn't really having fun. Ironically, the game kind of made me feel like a zombie. I just kind of sat there absentmindedly playing, crafting, stabbing zombies, shooting guys, and flatline of, this works, I guess. And that's it. Basically, my thoughts on this game can be split between the title. The survive part, I have played worse, I have played better, and that's it. It's a middle-of-the-road experience, so I guess if you really are into survival games and you're not sick of them, then this will probably do fine for you. But if you like Metal Gear, like I do, there's nothing about this that's remotely Metal Gear. I mean, it looks like Metal Gear, it sounds like Metal Gear, but this isn't Metal Gear. This is Konami using one of their most popular, established IPs, using the name to chase trends, basically, survival and zombie games. Metal Gear has always been very unique, and while it has gotten very weird, it's always been special and cool and this thing to experience. But Metal Gear Survive is just another zombie game, another survival game. It kind of lacks its own identity. And if you're a fan of the series, there's nothing for you here, at least not based on the beta. I'm left feeling entirely indifferent about it. But I lean kind of toward the negative because it's Konami, and I don't see why I would bother supporting them. Why would I give them my money after the unceremonious way they just said, fuck all of you, we don't want your business, games are stupid, pachinko. And then they come back with this? Like, no, I don't want to give you my money. If you don't care about any of the Konami stuff, if you don't care about Metal Gear, if you're not a hardcore fan and you just want a survival game, you'll probably get that just fine. But I don't think I can really recommend this game to people like me that like Metal Gear and don't like Konami. And that's pretty much all I've got to say on that. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me ramble. I hope I provided some kind of insight, probably not. And I hope you all have a great day.